Alright, what is up guys? Today is Thursday, June 29th, 2017. And today I'm going to be giving you guys some updates on all the toys we're going to be taking out to the 4th of July family picnic out at the farm. So, in the last video you guys saw both of our, twin go-karts and how we did the engine swap on them. My brother and I moved the engine that was on the red cart and put it on this one. And I just covered everything that we've been doing to this cart to get it ready to bring out there. I also told you guys in that video, that was about a week ago, I also told you guys that our neighbor Brad, who is also into this kind of stuff, would let us borrow his mini bike to take out there. So I'm going to go over everything in this video. Hopefully it won't be too long. I'm going to try to get right along to starting all this stuff up so you guys can hear it run. But starting with the go-kart, everything is pretty much done. We just need to put the air cleaner back on, and this thing is ready to roll. We purchased a new fuel line for it. We did order a new carburetor because we thought the carburetor could use some work, but the old fuel line, I think it's around here somewhere, but anyway, the old fuel line that we had on this thing had a bad air leak on it, which was causing the fuel to come up really slowly, and when we were cranking this engine, it was just cranking and cranking and cranking, and the fuel would slowly, very slowly come up from the fuel tank. We put this new fuel line on yesterday that we ordered off of eBay, or actually we got it in the mail, we cut it, then we put it on, and as soon as we started cranking the engine, whoop, that fuel came right up. So the engine turned right over and fired up, and that was it. It turns out we don't even need to replace the carburetor. The carburetor on this thing is fine. We'll put the air cleaner on. When it's time to go on Saturday, we'll fill the tank up with fresh gas and oil mix, and we'll take this thing out. But this thing is running tip-top right now. Like I said, it was just amazing how fast he got it to turn over, how fast my dad got it to turn over, and it fired right up. And I'm like, sweet, So this thing is all ready to go. Like I said, just put the air filter on it, and we'll be ready to roll here. So I'll fire that up in a few minutes for you guys. This is the mini bike I was talking about last week that our neighbor was going to let us borrow. This is it, and this is pretty much everything that... they have a lot of this type of stuff out at the family farm, so this will fit in very nicely. This is a Honda. I did some research. I believe it's called a 50Z or a Z50. Not sure what year this one is from, but it's a pretty neat little mini bike. 4-cycle, and very basic yet fun little mini bike. It's got 3 gears on it. I'm still learning how to, work this thing. The gears on it stick a little bit, so you have to sometimes tap your gear shifter a few times. But let's hop on it here, and I'll show you guys what this thing is all about. So you got the brake right here, got your accelerator, of course, and of course you got your gas tank. That right here is your gear shifter, so you push that down all the way. If you keep pushing it down, it goes into neutral, and when you're riding it, when you start it up, you hold the brake and you get your foot under that, and you knock that up to first gear. Then when you go fast enough, you obviously go up to second gear and third gear. You got your foot pegs on either side. You got your, I think this is your back brake right here, which is a little bit bent in, so that's really hard. And then you got your, like I said, you got your front brake. This is your Kickstarter right here, and that's pretty much all there is to it. You got a fuel cutoff switch, which actually doesn't work very well. And somewhere down here is the choke. That lever right there is the choke. Ironically, you actually have to use the choke to kill this thing because it has no kill switch, which is just a little bit concerning, I hope I'm going to have to tell everybody out there, anyone who wants to ride it, to be very careful and don't let it get out of control, because there is no easily reachable kill switch on this thing. So, but, big thanks to our neighbor Brad for letting us borrow this, very nice little mini bike. And then this guy, my dad picked this up a week ago, pretty much a day or two after I did the first update video. And when he first brought this home, I thought this was the bike that he was talking about because my dad didn't get this till this past Sunday. But I thought this was Brad's mini bike right here that my dad had brought home. It turns out this is just a mini bike that my dad had purchased that will actually be ours. So this is a Baja. It is technically just a piece of Chinese crap, but it is actually a lot of fun. When we got it, the carburetor on it was very dirty. The carburetor needed a whole rebuild, so my dad just had me purchase a new carburetor. On Monday this week, my brother and I came down here, tore this thing apart, and put the new carburetor on by ourselves. We did that. Started it up. It ran just fine. My dad and I came down here the day after that and did a little bit of work with the throttle. The throttle on it was sticking a little bit. Now it's working fine. We ordered some new foot pegs for it since this one, the one that was on this side, the guy had made, the guy who owned this before us had made a custom foot peg for it, which didn't bend up like these do. So, brand new foot pegs. They both work just fine. This way it'll make transportation just a little bit easier when we lay it down in the back of the truck. Let's see, 196 cc engine. I think it's about 5.5 or 6.5 horsepower. Just a Honda clone, very basic engine, just like your Harbor Freight Predator engines, except those are 212 cc. My dad actually talked about what he wants to do in the future with this bike. He wants to actually take this engine off and get a Predator engine on here because we've had two of the Predator engines before from Harbor Freight Tools, and they do a really good job on our, they did a really great job on our go-karts. So this one might be getting a Predator at some point, but and then we also ordered a clutch cover for it since this whole area is kind of exposed, which we don't want. Get on this one really quick and I'll show you guys what it's all about. This one's kind of similar to that one. Actually, these are very different, but same basic controls. The brakes on this side on this one, I think. No, it's on this side. Here's your brake. You got your kill switch very conveniently located right here. That's on, that's off. Of course, your accelerator, just like that one. And you got your foot pegs, your pull starter, which is actually pretty easy to start, from right here. So that's pretty much it. Oh, and it's also got a headlight on it with a cool little reflection. It's actually got a pretty neat little headlight on it. Whoops. Anyway, there's all the three toys we have that are coming out to the picnic this year. I'm going to go ahead and, once things quiet down a little bit outside in front of the house, I'll open the garage door and we'll fire this stuff up for you guys. Since all of it will start and run just fine right now, so I'll go ahead and start it all up for you guys. Alright guys, I got a crack in the garage door to let this place air out a little bit because we're going to have some smoke. So, I'm going to go ahead and fire up the mini Baja first. And, yeah. So, let's give it a try. Might have to, I think this thing really doesn't start without the choke being on though, so let's try that. See if it'll fire up. There we go. Alright, there's that one. This one burns a lot of oil for some reason. I think these Baja engines all do. That's what I've seen in other YouTube videos, but burns a lot of oil, creates a lot of smoke. So, alright, let's do the Honda now. This one's actually a little bit quieter, surprisingly, so we'll fire this one up. Like I said, this one has a Kickstarter on it, so that's kind of nice. These Kickstarters are always fun. So we're in neutral here. We'll go ahead and, I think it's on, yeah. So we'll just go ahead and, this thing just requires a little kick like that. And we're on. I'm not going to put it into gear and take it for a ride yet, but anyway, let's turn it off. Wherever this choke lever is, here it is. Alright. Now, to fire up the go-kart, I'm going to have to set the camera down somewhere because I'm going to have to use the, this thing takes every bit of 2 hands because it's a big 2-cycle engine. And for those of you who don't know, for those of you who have never tried to pull start one of these things, these engines are very unforgiving. If you're not like a bodybuilder and you try to pull start one of these things, they will kick back at you really hard. So that's why when we got these carts, we got this, or actually the owner gave it to us, but we got this electric starter that's powered by a battery and a motor. So we'll go ahead and set the camera down somewhere and try to turn this engine over. Alright guys, I got the camera right over here. Let's see if I can get this thing fired up. Hopefully it'll fire right up like it did yesterday. So I think I have to choke it. I think that's choke right there. So let's see if this thing will cooperate for us like it did yesterday. Alright, turn the choke off. Alright, that's enough. I'm not going to smoke the crap out of the garage, but there you guys go. She started... Look at all that smoke. Holy cow. Now I have to open up the door all the way to air this place out, but as you guys can see, rather, she turned right over, you know, runs like a charm. It idles just fine, which is the thing we always have a hard time with, is getting these engines to idle properly. You know, as you guys can see, it was idling just fine without dying. We got a good fuel line connection with no air leak. So, alright, so as you guys can see, we are all ready to go for the picnic. That is a lot of smoke. These 2-cycle engines really smoke a lot. But anyway, that's about it for today. And if I'm able to record any YouTube video out at the farm, if I get a chance to, I will definitely do that, you know. Thanks for watching, and that'll be it.